Alumni return to commemorate the anniversary of the Bursar's office takeover.
Students discuss income inequality on campus.
And spring has sprung at Northwestern. We'll take a look at how students are celebrating.
We'll have those stories and more coming up on the Northwestern News Report.
It's your news right now.
The demands were basically the same ones that Black students have now.
Hundreds came together Thursday to commemorate Black students who protested in the 60s for equality at Northwestern. Good evening, I'm Andrew Merica.
And I'm Nikki Griswold. Thanks for joining us. Let's get right to our top story with Emma Evans, who joins us now.
Students gathered to make Black students' demands heard on Thursday as the university commemorated the 50th anniversary of the Bursar's office takeover. I spoke with some alumni and current students who told me why the story still resonates today. Northwestern commemorated the 50th anniversary of the Bursar's office takeover Thursday.
We were just kids 50 years ago looking for life in all the traditional ways. But at NU, our lives intersected with a movement.
In 1968, more than 100 Black students sat in the Bursar's office for 38 hours. With the list of demands for the administration, they protested the racism they experienced on Northwestern's campus.
Even though 50 years ago I'm not sure we were aware of what we were doing in terms of establishing history, the fact that history was made needs to be documented.
Which is why 50 years later, Northwestern remembered this event by holding commemoration events that brought back many alumni and participants of the takeover. Alongside current students and staff, they were honored with a panel, procession, groundbreaking ceremony at the Black House, and a plaque dedication at the Bursar's office.
As a current Black Northwestern student, it's so important to know about your history, know about the legacy that came before you, so you can continue to see the injustices that this university has.
Injustices that group Black Lives Matter NU made visible during celebration events, with the banner reading, "You never completed our demands."
We noticed that not only were the demands not completed or implemented, not all of them, that some of the demands were basically the same ones that Black students have now. So it was more pointed at the university like, hey, you need to listen to us. And then towards the Black alumni who were there, it was thank you. And we want to make sure that your work is seen all the way through.
Work that started in the Bursar's office and that continues through students today. Some of the demands that Black Lives Matter NU listed are the demilitarization of NUPD, an increase in the number of Black and Native American populations on campus, and creating departments for the Latino, Latina, and Asian American Studies programs.
All right, great reporting, Emma. Thanks.
The transition to Northwestern is tough for many students, but it can be especially challenging for students from low-income families or students who are the first in their family to attend college. NNN's Andy Weir spoke to some of these students at the first I'm First workshop.
It's not all about the money. That was the message at the I'm First workshop Wednesday night. Student Enrichment Services and the Quest Scholars Network at Northwestern co-hosted the workshop in an effort to demystify the role of socioeconomic class in higher education. Attendees, many of which were first-generation college students, spoke about their experiences over dinner. Afterwards, social justice and education professor Robert Brown spoke. Co-president of Northwestern Quest Scholars Christian Reyes helped organize the event. He hopes it starts a discussion about low-income and first-generation students at Northwestern.
The point of the workshop tonight is to kind of create some discussions around class, specifically like trying to touch on the experiences of low-income people as well as like how that differs from like the experiences of people from higher classes.
Weinberg freshman Sophia Sanchez, a first-generation college student herself, thinks events like these are not just intended for first-generation college students.
I think it's important for other people who aren't first generation or low income to come to these types of events as well, because it's one of those things that I don't think people think makes a difference on an experience here at Northwestern, but it does.
The workshop is part of Money Matters Week, a week-long exploration of socioeconomic class and first-generation college experiences.
The experience of first-generation and low-income students might be similar, but it varies from person to person. But I think one thing that we can all kind of share together is that we need some support.
Andy Weir, Northwestern News Report.
Student Enrichment Services hopes to plan more events like this that give low-income and first-generation college students a chance to speak about their experiences.
Well, back outside, spring seems to be in full swing.
But will the warm weather stick around? NNN's Alexa McHale has the answer. Alexa?
Thanks, Nikki and Andrew. Over the weekend, Evanston hit a beaming 80 degrees as students enjoyed a sunshine-filled weekend on the Lakeville. Temperatures have dropped slightly since then, with highs in the 70s and lows in the 50s. Right now, we're looking at the Rock, with partly cloudy skies in the background. Temperatures climbed back up a bit today with a high of 78 degrees and a low of 55 degrees. Be sure to stay tuned for some stormy weather updates for the next 5 days.
All right, thanks, Alexa.
Coming up, we'll introduce you to some students spreading happiness on campus.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for the sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
A few weeks ago, we brought you a story on this year's Diversity and Inclusion Report, highlighting that the class of 2020 is by far the most diverse class. But it turns out that many international students feel there's still a lot of work to do. NNN's Hyo-Jung Kim tells us why.
Weinberg sophomore Diana Metz is concerned. Her home country, Nicaragua, is undergoing deadly protests, and she's concerned for her friends and family. But what makes her even more concerned is general apathy towards the issue.
My Facebook newsfeed was filled with people posting videos, posting pictures, posting stories about all these crazy wild protests that have been happening right in my hometown, and I'm hearing all about this, but then it's completely radio silence in the United States.
She even had people asking her if Nicaragua is a part of Africa or Asia, or even a part of the United States. And that's why she hosted an information session on the topic, followed by discussions. Medill sophomore Kayla Carvalho, who came to the event, says she relates to Diana in experiencing apathy toward international news at Northwestern.
I usually don't see people talking a lot about news from other countries, at all. I have to explain all of the details of what's happening.
Another student from a country that's going under a huge change, Kuhyun Jung, shares a similar experience.
I feel like the whole campus is pretty ignorant toward the international news. We're ending a war that's been going on for quite a while, 60, 70 years, and probably no one cares on Northwestern campus. We're pretty apathetic.
And it's not just Diana, Kayla, and Kuhyun. In fact, there has been considerable concerns on the collective apathy on campus when it comes to global news. But the director of the international office, Ravi Shankar, disagrees to the claim that it comes from neglect.
So there is interest, but I think that interest kind of doesn't translate into action because it doesn't impact them. Not neglect, but I think it's a lethargy. So the idea really is, how do you kind of kickstart that interest?
Many international students believe that this is a problem beyond the Northwestern community.
I feel like they're well-intentioned. I think that they are can be ignorant in the sense that they just look at what's given to them and they just accept it at face value. but I also don't, that's not their fault.
But they also believe that this is still something that should be solved on college level.
We're getting there.
Hyojung Kim, Northwestern News Network.
Many student groups like ISA and the International Office are planning more events like Coffee Talk that could help globalize the campus community.
With weekend temperatures in the 80s, students made their way to the Lakeville to play games, listen to music, and enjoy the sun. The Happiness Club got in on the fun with its own kite flying event. NNN's Esther Wells was there.
After what seemed like an endless winter, the sun finally came through last weekend, bringing temperatures up to the 80s. Students and Evanstonians flocked to the Lakeville, including students from Northwestern's Happiness Club, a group dedicated to making campus a little more cheerful.
Our main goal is just to spread happiness throughout the campus, making people's days just a little bit brighter by small interactions, little things to spread positivity.
The club is undergoing a change in leadership with 2 new presidents set to begin in the fall. Meanwhile, they've continued to host events like game nights, High Five Fridays, and, just last Saturday, kite flying at the Lakeville. The event, complete with free kites and music from a nearby student concert, was off to a slow start, the lack of wind making it difficult to keep the kites in the air.
It's such a simple thing as to like watch a colorful kite fly in the sky, but it's like, it's something that's not necessarily immediately successful, and so like the simple success of getting it to fly is just so like pleasing.
The club provided around 30 kites for students, and although it was off to a rocky start, the wind picked up and so did the kites.
I'm totally enjoying myself. I love kite flying now.
Cudman says he joined in the activity after seeing the kites along the Lakeville, and this kind of spontaneous fun is just what the Happiness Club hopes to offer.
My favorite part, I guess, is just knowing that I'm making a difference on campus and making it a slightly happier place in an environment which can be very stressful at times.
With midterm season coming to a close, the event was a perfect opportunity for students to let both their kites and their stress fly away. Esther Wells, Northwestern News Network.
The Happiness Club will be featured at Northwestern's Out of the Darkness Walk. The event raises awareness for mental health and will take place on May 20th at the Lakeville.
God, that looks like so much fun. Well, since it's warmed up outside, we wanted to find out what NU students were looking forward to most in this warmer weather.
So we asked you in this week's edition of Rock Talk.
Hi, I'm Jessica Vitti from NNN, and for this week's Rock Talk, we're asking you guys what you're looking forward to most this spring. So what are you looking forward to most this spring?
Probably just going outside instead of being inside all the time.
I'm just looking forward to the nice weather and the chance to just hang out at the Lakeville with my friends.
I'm looking forward to my a cappella show, which is running this weekend at Lutkin, which you should all go to.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
To be honest, I've already kind of got it. All the trees are like blossoming right now, and that's like a beautiful thing.
My birthday is coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. It's on Monday.
Going to the beach, going to Lakeville, enjoying the sun and the weather. Like right now, it's pretty lovely.
Looking forward to the school year finally being done and getting out for summer.
I think the thing I'm looking forward to the most other than that is getting out of here.
All right, well, of course, we want to hear from you as well.
So if you have any ideas for future Rock Talk topics, tweet at us at NNN_news.
Make sure to pack your rain jackets and umbrellas for classes because Evanston is getting a stormy spring week. I'm Alexa McHale, and coming up, I will have your 5-day weather forecast.
Sunday is Mother's Day, and it looks like Americans will be spending big bucks on their moms this year. We'll break down spending trends next in Money Minute.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break We will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Welcome back. Here is your 5-day weather forecast. Be prepared for windy thunderstorms Wednesday with a high of 74 degrees and a low of 58 degrees. The showers stop just for a bit on Thursday as the day will be partly cloudy with a high of 64 degrees and a low of 45 going into the night. There is a 50% chance of rain going into Thursday night. The thunderstorms manage to stay into the weekend as Thursday brings storms with a high of 64 degrees and a low of 55 degrees. The Lakeville does not seem to be the move this Saturday as there will be continued scattered thunderstorms with a high of 69 degrees and a low of 50 degrees. Finally, on Sunday, the thunderstorms come to a halt, but the umbrellas should stay up for the rain is likely to continue. Sunday brings a high of 60 degrees and a low of 51 degrees. I'm Alexa McHale, and this has been your 5-day weather forecast. Back to you.
Thanks, Alexa. Our newsmakers this week are a group of students from the Feinberg School of Medicine who provide cardiovascular care to Chicagoland citizens. NNN's Joey Safchik found out why these students don't do anything half-hearted.
These Northwestern graduate students are not faint of heart. In fact, they are dedicating their time to Keep Your Heart Healthy, an initiative that provides cardiovascular screening to underserved communities in the Chicago area. At this healthcare event in the Pullman neighborhood last Saturday, first-year medical student Zachary Zilber was screening people for high blood pressure, which increases the risk of strokes and heart attacks.
If you're getting someone to exercise 3 times a week instead of 1 time a week, I mean, that's not nothing. So if we could just push someone ever so slightly towards more healthy lifestyle, that feels good.
Zilber says that medical students take a series of health and society classes. These help them understand that cardiovascular diseases disproportionately impact minority communities. Zilber and his peers hope to fill a gap in the medical industry.
We're just the translators in a certain way. You know, we make it easy to digest and help people actually enact changes in their lives that can impact their health in a positive way.
Elizabeth Butler traveled from Matson to Pullman for the healthcare event. She said that she has never intentionally sought cardiovascular attention before.
Well, I think it's really great for the community to have something like this. I need to learn about my body and stuff like that in order for me to do better about my body. And so that's why I said, well, let me just go ahead and come down here. That way it'd have been an improvement for me.
And it's not just the patients who are benefiting from Keep Your Heart Healthy. The Northwestern volunteers also say they're getting valuable experience interacting with patients and working with underserved communities.
It's just good to actually be face-to-face with people and talk to them because it only makes us better doctors, I think.
As of this year, Keep Your Heart Healthy is entirely student-run. Present at every event is a physician who oversees the students as they interact with patients.
I really like working with the young student doctors. This is sometimes one of their first interactions with patients, and to see how they interact with them and learn from the patients and also teach the patients is really rewarding.
Christine Orders is a retired internist and an assistant professor at Feinberg who volunteered at the Pullman event. Orders says that she's impressed by how much the upcoming generation of medical professionals care about equity in medicine. Students hope to keep pouring their heart into this organization for years to come. Joey Safchik, Northwestern News Network.
Keep Your Heart Healthy is only one Feinberg community outreach initiative. You can find more information on their website at feinberg.northwestern.edu.
Well, college students are well known for their tight budgets, but even in Evanston, there are ways to save a few bucks, and doing so can be pretty fun. NNN's Michelle Beck shows us how.
Wait, hold on. I gotta get my coupons first.
Saving money comes naturally to Amy Lowe.
I like discounts because they save me money and they give me an inherent sense of happiness for some reason.
She goes in and out of stores looking for the best deals. For lunch, Vietnam Nam, but only because it's currently having a buy one get one promotion.
I can eat out with my friends and save money at the same time. We don't have to pay the full price.
Still left, dessert.
So today is Cold Stone's Customer Appreciation Day. So you can get a ice cream for only $1, where it's usually like $4 or $5.
Now, some deals have no expiration dates. Northwestern students can enjoy some perks or a few dollars off just by showing this.
The Wildcard Advantage program partners with more than 400 businesses across Evanston, Chicago, and the Web. For some students more than others, the free discounts matter. Madison Hersey is the co-president of the Quest Scholars Network, a group that voices the needs of low-income students. She says students like her just want a normal college life, so that's where their money goes.
Buying less expensive food, less nutritious food, instant kind of easy on the go food so that they can have a little bit of wiggle room in their budget to do other things like drinking and going out.
Regardless of economic status, Eileen Toe, the assistant director of the Office of Financial Aid, has some tips for everyone.
It's important to be aware of what you're spending and to look back on it frequently, whether it is just looking at your bank statement.
Cutting costs a little every day can go a long way. That's something Lou can attest. Michelle Beck, Northwestern News Network.
Well, have you gotten something for your mom yet? If not, that's okay. You still have, about 5 days or so to go shopping before the big day on Sunday. Total spending on Mother's Day this year is expected to reach just over $23 billion. Doing the math a little bit, an estimated 86% of Americans will buy gifts for their moms. That means average spending comes out to $180 per person. Those numbers are pretty strong, though spending is expected to be slightly down from last year's $23.6 billion. This year is only the second time in 15 years that spending is estimated to exceed the $23 billion mark. So what are people buying this year? It turns out jewelry takes the top spot with purchases totaling more than $5 billion, or almost $5 billion. Consumers will spend $4.4 billion on dinner or brunch, $2.6 billion on flowers, and $2.5 billion on gift cards. Now, rounding out the bottom of the list, we have clothing, consumer electronics, greeting cards, books, and of course music. Surprisingly, more Americans will head to department stores and other specialty stores this year than shop online. The big spenders this season are those between 35 and 44 years old, spending an average of $224. Those between 18 and 24 years old will spend less, but are expected to do more research online when buying their gifts. But forget all that physical stuff for mom. The National Retail Federation finds that nearly 3 in 10 moms would like to receive a gift of experience, such as a spa day or a ticket to a concert this Mother's Day. Yet only 26% of us plan to give such a gift. Well, we wish all of the moms watching a very happy Mother's Day. With Money Minute, I'm Matt Dunn.
Coming up, we'll get served a peek at NU's popular ping pong team.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
From Frisbee to Quidditch, NU has club teams for virtually every sport, it seems.
But one team that shies away from the spotlight is the club ping pong team. NNN's Evan Denton recently caught up with the team at one of their practices to hear about their unique passion for pong.
The club table tennis team has served up one of the most successful seasons in recent program history. The man up front, President David Lee.
We just had nationals this past weekend. We flew down to Austin, Texas. We came in at the 19th seed, and we came out as the 16th. So we moved up 3 places, and we're 16th in the nation now.
But traveling across country costs money. The club table tennis team is a conditional sport at Northwestern, meaning it does not receive funding from the university for its expenses.
Most of it came out from our pockets because we were dedicated and we really wanted to play nationals. We all Airbnb'd in one house.
No funding has made it hard for lesser-known club sports to reach a wider audience.
We always look for new blood to come into the team. You know, we don't actually recruit table tennis players directly, so we really hope a lot of people will show interest and come and join our club, and you know, hopefully we'll continue repeating our success that we've been having over the past 3 years.
Through it all, the club considers itself a close family.
Every Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays, you know, it's a stress breaker for a graduate student, and the team members are very kind and helpful. Sometimes I play with Eddie and David, and that's more like a coaching session for me. It's fun to play with these people, and I enjoy playing table tennis with them.
Evan Denton, NNN Sports.
That looks fast. I don't think I could do it. Are you any good at ping pong?
Oh, not at all. I don't have the control to have gentle enough hits, so
takes
I always miss the table.
A lot of hand-eye coordination that I do not have. Anyway, coming up after the break, there were sound waves and water waves along the Lakeville for a concert out in the sun. We'll take you there next.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Go Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
It is that time of year again when the sun is out and the Lakeville is bustling with people. And an NCN Shin was there to check out students riding the waves of music.
It is a beautiful day today here at the Lakeville, and Northwestern students have gathered to enjoy the sunshine and the live music. The lineup for today's show consists of a variety of different student musicians, each of them bringing their own unique musical talent to the stage.
The Dot Wave Company held an outdoor concert with night school productions over the weekend. The artists showcased a wide range of music, including rock and jazz.
We're not friends, but we do play in a band together.
One band called We're Not Friends was formed only a few weeks ago, but has already become a family.
So this has been a really super exciting opportunity for me because it's the first group I've ever done original music with. It's the first group really I've ever performed in a band with, in this setting. And they're great, and I love them.
Like the community among the musicians, the show also brought together the Northwestern community.
Ton of different groups of people here, which I think all being at the same event makes Northwestern feel a little bit more like a community and not as split up. And it's cool to do that on, the Lakeville, which is like one of our biggest things at Northwestern, and also with live music. It feels like it's bringing a lot of different people together, which I think is awesome, yeah.
This energy from the crowd amplified the vibe of the musicians.
In the moment, when you're standing on stage, you can see people's faces, and they're clapping for you and for your band, and you guys are making the things that are making them happy. I think that's what it all comes from, and yeah, it's very much a high, very much gives you an energy boost, very much a drug.
And this happiness was clear from the audience's dance moves.
So CN, is the Dot Wave Company going to be having more events like this anytime soon?
Yeah, for sure. So the Dot Wave Company will be performing this Friday for their acoustic show, and they're also going to be having 2 more shows on Saturday, but you can catch their details on their Facebook page.
Great, thanks CN.
All right, and that's going to do it for us tonight for this week's edition of the Northwestern News Report. For everyone here at NNN, I'm Andrew Marica.
And I'm Nikki Griswold. Good night.